cost and what expense, and how much money have we spent on the Ukrainian war?
I'll answer that right after I do this. Actually, I'll answer first. How much money have we spent? A ton. I agree. It's so actually
300 billion.
And most of that, you know where most of that is from? Old military weaponry.
Bro, I don't care about none of that, bro. It's 300 billion, bro. 300 billion.
I've been trying to talk to you for years, man. That's crazy. You know Destiny, right? You have to, right?
Know of him, yeah.
Oh, bro, debate him, please. But I'm the second best thing. Okay. So I think I'm gonna start. That pulling out of Ukraine, do you think it ruined America's reputation around the world? I think so I want to hear your opinion on it, then we can chat about it.
What do you mean by pulling out of Ukraine? What do you mean by that?
We basically pulled out the funding for Ukraine, America, Trump.
Yeah, I mean, we've frozen it, but we're also brokering peace, which I think would improve America's standing around the world for sure. We need to end this war, end the slaughter of all the people between the Russian and
we need
Ukraine.
to end it the right way. Ending war isn't always the best thing, in my opinion. You need to end it the right way.
And what would that mean? Millions more people dead?
No, it would actually mean fighting off Russia with economically. We need to add more sanctions. Sanctions is number one. Sanctions will kill Russia.
Know Trump.
So this debate is about a leftist student versus a conservative speaker, Charlie Kirk. I will agree that wars do have to end the right way, because you could technically end a war by dropping a bomb on a country. That will end a war, but that's not really the right way. Nonetheless, I don't know too much about the Ukraine, Russia information. I try to keep my stuff America focused, but let me know if you guys know a lot about it. Nonetheless, let's get into this debate. I'm going to see who wins the debate, either the student or Charlie Kirk. Let's get it.
Did that last week, right?
Yeah, that's great. No, look, everything Trump does is not a bad thing. I need everybody here to know that everything Trump does is not a bad thing.
No,
Trump
we agree.
does some good things,
a lot
of bad things. So America has went down the tank economically too. I hate to switch topics like this, but economic. Yeah, I know.
So we're off. We're off Ukraine, or we're on economics.
We're gonna stay with Ukraine. So we promised Ukraine that we would stay in there if we took their nukes away, right? We're going to take your nukes away, and then we're going to help you. So do you agree that we made a promise with Ukraine to continue to defend them? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, Biden did, of course. But the question is, at what cost and what expense? And how much money have we spent on the Ukrainian war?
I'll answer that right after I do this. Actually, I'll answer first. How much money have we spent? A ton. I agree. It's so actually
300 billion.
And most of that, you know where most of that is from? Old military weaponry. We take our old...
Bro, I don't care about none of that, bro. It's 300 billion, bro. 300 billion! 300 billion? Are you serious? And you're trying to really say it's all from old military weaponry, which it might be, but it's still worth $300 billion. If it was 300 million, you know what? I'd be like, okay, that's still a lot, but it's NBA players who have contracts worth more than 300 million. But 300 billion, that's worth more than companies. That's worth more than other countries. Some countries on earth aren't even worth 300 billion. What are we talking about?
Old military weapons, since we haven't been a war for like forever. We just have old military weaponry sitting around. We have old military weaponry sitting around. We have old military weaponry sitting around. So we ship it to Ukraine so we don't have to pay it.
First of all, that's not true. We spent down our reserves.
Dude.
We gave them new F-35s. We gave them new ballistic missiles. We gave them new Tomahawk missiles. We gave them new Javelin missiles. The Javelin is not antiquated technology. And not to mention that our own reserves and our own capacity to fill our armaments has now been depleted because of Ukraine. Do you know we've also written checks
to... We're jump right there?
I'm sorry, what?
We're going to jump? Because... most of the allocated funds are...
I'm going to keep going. We also put money straight into...
I got to cut you off. I'm so sorry.
Straight into their pension system.
I got to cut you off, man.
We put
you
money
just said a bunch of stuff, and I got to respond to it. So most of the funds that are allocated to Ukraine are old weaponry. That is a fact. That is absolutely a fact. I'm surprised you didn't know that, but you can't just...
Again, it's just not true. So we are funding their pension system.
Look it up.
We are funding their entire government. The entire Ukrainian government is supported by wire transfers done from the Western
UN
world.
And US, I agree.
Not to mention, the missiles that they are actually firing are not, quote, outdated. They're ones that we should actually be able to use against the cartels.
No, I agree with that, because we are developing...
I don't want to spend too much time on this because...
Really? This is super important. This is the biggest political aspect ever, because we're losing foreign trust. We're losing foreign trust. You don't think so?
No, again, of course not. what does
Really?
peace look like in Ukraine? Tell me the exact latitude and longitude that will make you happy. And is Crimea Russia's or Ukraine's?
I don't care about Crimea. It can be Russia's or
That's the
Ukraine's.
most important part of the entire
No, it's
war,
not.
man.
This
That's
is my
literally the
this
last
is
point
my,
of negotiation.
You want my opinion? This is my opinion. I totally agree. Way too many deaths have happened in Ukraine. I understand the other perspective that that millions of people died in Ukraine and we want that to stop any way possible. But this way that we're doing it is not correct. If we're allowing Russia to just take the land and not...
You say this way is not correct, but throughout this video, I haven't heard you say an alternative way. And you can't bring up ways that America has already done because the war is still going on. So under Biden, we've given $300 billion worth of war equipment, as you said, or materials, or however you want to say it. We've given $300 billion worth of stuff. The war didn't end. Now Trump's in office. He's been in office for over 100 days. The war still hasn't ended. So what new, unique, unorthodox way do you have that both the Biden administration failed to see and the Trump administration is also failing to see? I would love to hear that. And I hope he doesn't mention a way that we've already tried in the past that failed. But let's see what happens.
and just take the land and have no repercussions. What's stopping them from doing it again? Nothing. Nothing's stopping them from doing it again. We need precautions. They already broke 3 agreements so far. Please tell me what's going to stop Russia from just doing it again. What's going to stop them?
Again, so first of all, you come from the wrong premise.
Get a load of this.
You come from the incorrect premise, as if that we are not currently being tough on Russia, and that we're not currently being tough on them.
Bro, we're slopping on them right now. What are you talking about? Trump is
we
slopping
have
on that
sanctions,
shit, bro.
we have tariffs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cuss. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but again, I just want to be very perfectly clear, which is we've spent $250 to $300 billion here. You say you don't care about Crimea, and so if you don't care
You're
about...
going to harp on that point?
Yeah, it's okay. Do you care about the Donbass?
Yeah, I care about.
Okay, so what part
I care
of the,
about it,
so
but that's
name-
not my argument.
Do you care about Mariupol? Do you think Mariupol is Russia or Ukraine's?
Not informed on Mariupol.
Okay, then this is not even a discussion worth
It's
having.
not a
then.
discussion
No,
because I
if you
can't
don't-
be
it's-
informed on one thing.
Okay, how about the Donetsk region?
Not informed.
Okay, again, this is like very basic
Inform me then.
Ukrainian.
Inform me then.
No, again, I'm not going to spend time educating on stuff that you can
Gotcha.
find at ChatGPT. Here's the point, okay? Here's the critical point, okay? Which is that this is now a question over geography. And so I'm not going to dialogue with you on it if you don't even know the main towns that are in
do you
question.
think all the U.S. You're just talking about old territories owned by the USSR? Like that's just what we're talking about.
No, that's currently Russian-controlled land because of the war. The question is, should they keep it or not? That is what's being negotiated.
Yeah, but I'm arguing if they're invading more. I'm not arguing for keeping any land. I'm arguing for if they should continue to invade more land and what's keeping them from invading more land, which you won't answer.
Yeah, okay, again, the minerals deal, part of it is a security agreement. Number 2, we should actually have a warmer relationship with Russia, which would prevent Russian expansion
Because
throughout
we're
Ukraine.
pussies, yes.
Well, okay, again, it's easy for you to say that. Do you think it was wrong for us to work with Russia to defeat the Nazis?
No, because Russia, it wasn't as... Bro, Russia... We can... Whoa. Please don't think I'm stumbling. First of all, Germany is 1,000 times worse than Russia is right now. Like... I'm actually coming from a normal perspective on this. Like you're saying, it's reasonable to say that we're losing too many Ukrainians. Like, I understand that. That's why letting them have some land is almost understandable to me. But what's not understandable is that we have nothing to prevent them from taking more. I feel like you would agree with this. We need stronger, reasonable, like, lining to make sure they don't just break another deal. You know how many deals they broke already?
And
3.
we broke a lot of deals. You know, we broke a lot of deals too. We said NATO.
So the student is saying that America needs some type of deal, I'm assuming with Russia or a trio between Russia, America, and Ukraine's basically having some type of punishment if Russia breaks a deal. And what I'm assuming is that Charlie Kirk is about to respond and say, do you know how many deals we've broken? Saying that deals were broken multiple ways. As I said previously, I don't know too much about this dispute regarding Russia and Ukraine and America. I try to focus on American specific issues. You guys will let me know what's really going on here. But let me know, do you agree with the student? Do you disagree with him? Let's continue.
NATO would not expand eastward. We said we would not involve our... No, we broke that deal. That was America.
Yeah, I know. That's
So
my point. We're fucking sucking right now.
No, dude. You understand? NATO expansion happened before Trump. Like, you got to calm down, man. Like,
No, this is too serious to be calm, man.
George W. Bush broke the NATO agreement. Biden broke the NATO. So, for example, we said
You
that
think
NATO
I
would.
condone that? No.
Okay, Biden broke the agreement we had with Russia that NATO would not expand eastward. Finland joined NATO under Joe Biden. So
I'm not a Biden stan. I'm talking about America.
Okay, that's
no. Wait, what are you trying to say then? Tell me.
I'm disproving all of your points, and you're not
How
even
so?
internalizing
All right,
it. Okay,
tell me one more time. I'm super listening.
Okay, again, man, like you're a perfect example.
Are you gonna
and I'm going to say this as lovingly as I can.
Inform me.
You're a perfect example of someone who thinks you know everything about a topic, and you know literally nothing about a
I
topic.
literally said I didn't know 3 things.
So thank you for your time.
Really? You're not going to inform me?
Thank you. We spent enough time on it. Thank you.
Scared at.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. You were up there for like almost 10 minutes. He gave you a good amount of time, and he can't sit up here and give you a lecture like a college professor for the next hour and a half. I'm not gonna lie. He gave you a good amount of time. I thought that you would know because at the beginning of this video, you said that you are the next best thing to Destiny. You guys don't know who Destiny is. Destiny is one of the biggest left-leaning streamers and YouTubers that there is. He's like the leftist version of Charlie Kirk, practically. So I would think that you knew what was going on here, but you didn't. So you lost the debate. Nonetheless, my name is LFR Jojo. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.